What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Fresh Take Anime Edition. In this one, we're going to do a little discussion about Fatal Fury. I got with me the game idea guy, Andre.
Hey, what's up, people? Here's your local resident SNK fanboy fighter.
Now, if you haven't noticed, back in the early 90s, when Fatal Fury was first getting started, they did a couple of OVAs, The Legend of Hungry Wolf, and I forgot what the second OVA was called. If it even had one. I think it just called Fatal Fury 2.
The new challengers or something like that. The new fighter or something. It was something new. I can't remember it either, and I have the damn things, and I just don't feel like digging them out to look.
Yeah, I don't either because I have both. I have all three of them. And then in '94 they did the Fatal Fury, the movie. Good movie, by the way.
Which is definitely one of the better movies. They introduced some characters that never ended up in the game, but
which kind of sucks. But that being said, the first two OVAs actually did a very good job of kind of mirroring the game a little bit. There are some obvious exceptions, like some people that died that shouldn't, some stuff that happened that shouldn't. But for the most part, they did a very good job in those OVAs and that film. Like they were all done by the same guy, Masami Abari. He's one of those guys that actually does a real good job. Like he did the Fatal Fury stuff, and he did a couple others that I can't remember. I want to say he's the guy that did the Fire Emblem OVA, the 2 or 3 episode Fire Emblem OVA. I want to say that was him.
If he did, that would make a lot of sense because he's one of those few people that get some content and they keep continuity with what they're doing.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say that was him. I'm not 100% certain, but he did do the Fatal Fury OVAs and the Fatal Fury the movie. And the movie actually, and I'll say this about all of it, they had some very good voice acting even for the English dub, but back in the 90s, the English dubs were, in my opinion, better than what they are now. Some of them are getting back better, but just from a personal standpoint, I feel like a lot of the older animes from the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s just had better voice acting, in my opinion.
It was back then where they actually tried to put the character's emotion into it, whereas now you can tell someone's reading from a script.
Yeah. It's kind of bad now.
It sounds so monotone, like. No, don't do that.
Gundam see the straight up. That being said, the reason why I want to bring this up because Garou Mark of the Wolves is a game that came out on the Dreamcast, and I want to say it came out in arcade. It came out in arcades.
It came out in arcade. It came out in the Dreamcast, and if you still had a Neo Geo at the time, it came out in cartridge form for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you were rich like that, some of us weren't. But
the Rolls Royce of video games.
Yeah. But the main reason why I brought it up was because I finally got a chance to play Garou, Mark of the Wolves. It came out on the Switch, and I was able to pick it up and finally play it.
It's beautifully fluid, ain't it?
Yes, it is. It's actually I'm sorry, I hate to have to be that guy, but it plays way better than Fatal Fury 1, 2, and even King of Fighters 94 and 98 in my opinion.
It's honestly the styling of how Mark of the Wolves plays is so similar to the real bout games because it feels just as fluid as those. Actually, feels a lot better than those. But it also has the look of the King of Fighters series to it, which is why I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, and it's to me it's just a beautifully made and played game. Now, if you know anything about those films or the OVA in the film, they actually were setting up the movie. The Fatal Fury of the movie actually set up the stuff that I'm going to assume here because I never got a chance to play 3. The things that happen in 3, because at the beginning of Mark of the Wolves is they kind of like recap what happened at the end of 3.
Yeah.
So
the opening sequence shows you what happened.
Yeah. Now, if you watched Fatal Fury the movie, they were setting that up. I don't know, if they would have ever got a chance to do it or not, but they were setting things were heading to that direction. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a spoiler for over 20-year-old movie, but Just for those that probably haven't had a chance to watch it, Geese Howard, the main antagonist of the series, actually in the Fatal Fury movie, his power has been growing. He's been training secretly, and his power is getting ridiculous because he wants another go at Terry Bogard, basically the
Yeah.
series hero. And
The way I would like to basically explain it is the movies show you the way things went that the games couldn't because of the nature of the games being a fighting game, multiple endings, and all that stuff. The movies show you the path that the events should have taken, or gives you an idea of how the event should have gone.
Yeah, and it was all like gearing to a head because he actually pretty much says is I'm gonna keep training because as long as this scar remains unhealed, my powers is gonna continue to grow. Basically saying I'm coming for you.
Yeah, that was the scene where Billy Kane was rolling up on him, trying to like, hey, such and such happened, and he just does the Raging Storm. He throws that down, and Billy barely holding himself up.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a quick scene. It's only like what?
It's only like 30, 40 seconds. Billy didn't even get hit with the move. It was just the pressure of it.
Yeah,
made him weak.
So. I now always wanted to know. I'm like, okay, if they were able to keep it going, where they could have went with that third one, would it have set up Mark of the Wolves? Do you think that?
If you excuse the Fatal Fury the motion picture, yeah, I would say that the third one would have set up would have taken the events and set up for Mark of the Wolves. Because if you cut out that whole Laucorn and Godimus armor stuff.
Which, by the way, is not bad.
It's not bad. I actually wish that they would have taken those characters, especially like dude Gammon, who fought Terry toe to toe.
Yeah,
put them in the game,
and he was tougher than Krauser.
Yeah,
because Krauser was.
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't know if I could say he's tougher than Krauser. I think he's around that level. Because
all I know is Krauser
Terry at that time. Only reason Terry had beat Krauser, to be honest, because he had that rage built up in him, and that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because he was not winning that fight. If you watch,
he was getting thrashed.
If you watch the second OVA, Terry was getting because they fought twice. The first time he got destroyed.
Yeah, the first time he got completely manhandled. Second time after him and Andy trained up and beat the hell out of each other, and he learned that secret power he had. Yeah, he was doing a little bit better. Krauser was still beating him.
I always wanted to see Andy fight Krauser just because I think Andy was a better fighter. I believe Andy's a better fighter than Terry.
I'd say Andy has better moves than Terry, but I think Terry overall is better balanced than Andy. So he probably Andy would have still shared the same fate Terry did, but without that rage, he would have lost.
Yeah, that's true. Because without it, he would have lost. But I still think Terry would have gave Krauser a better fight. That's just me,
Andy.
Yeah, I think. Andy. I think
Andy knows Andy knows ninjutsu, Shirinuri ninjutsu. So that's why I would think he would. He has the better moves to me. But Terry overall, when you think about it, he's the better overall fighter. I say Andy would have definitely gave him a blitz rush that he wouldn't have been expecting.
Yeah. And that's just one of those things because he was the one guy that I actually wanted to show back up was Krauser. Because I like Krauser, dude. Krauser was a trash talking, backing it up villain, dude.
Yeah, he was. Krauser, man. He was one of them thorough dudes you ain't want to mess with.
One of the best lines from that OVA is when he's like pretty much manhandling Joe, and he basically it's a bad line. It's a horrible line, but it's just funny the way he says it. When he's like, "Joe, I'm gonna have to ask you to keep it down, or I'm gonna have to ask you to die quietly or leave." Like what? But the way he says it with that Eastern European accent,
I was like, "Damn, dude, you just stone cold."
Yeah. And I gotta give it to the dummy Joe. He kept trying. I'm like, bro, just.
Look, but you gotta understand, Joe was doing that for one of his best friends.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
It might have failed, but at least he gave it the best effort he could. And he destroyed that hotel room. His move was what destroyed that hotel room. It wasn't anything Krauser did. It was what he did. Krauser just deflected the hell out of it and beat his ass.
Yeah. Which was just hilarious and all.
But that makes you think though, how strong was Joe at that time? If he could do all that damage.
Yeah, he just ran up on the wrong guy.
Yeah. I mean, Joe was good. Joe was one of those top ranked fighters
to be running up on. So, well, let me ask you this, because I have to ask, because those games came out around the same time, Street Fighter and Fatal Fury. Krauser or Bison? I go with Krauser.
I'm going all day, every day. I'm going with Krauser. The only way I pick Bison is if it's Psycho Bison. When he's got the Psycho Drive.
Yeah, but I still think Krauser would take him though.
I would say Krauser's the better fighter in that sense, but I think Bison would just overpower him at that point because he's got the Psycho Drive.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, Krauser the Psycho Drive.
Oh, that Psycho Drive. He ain't crap. Huh? Without that Psycho Drive, he ain't crap. He's not. No,
Bison's a decently skilled fighter without the Psycho Drive. He's just not that great because obviously you got Ryu can thrash him. Sagat can thrash him. Ken can thrash. He can get beat pretty damn easy if he doesn't have that Psycho Drive. If he doesn't have Psycho Drive with somebody's body with immense power, he's very easy to beat.
I always thought that personally, like especially after watching like the Street Fighter animated movie, I'm like I watched that first, and then a friend of mine when I was in college actually put me on to the Fatal Fury stuff, and I'm sitting there watching like 2 with Krauser in, and I'm like, Krauser's a way better villain in a shorter movie.
Yep, he is much better. And the problem is that Bison's focus is solely on power. It's solely on power. Like that's his biggest problem.
And they kind of made Krauser a little sympathetic too.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, the whole thing with his dad basically beating him within an inch of his life.
Yeah, and then he got his man though at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess that was the routine was to beat them within an inch of their life on their birthday until they're able to beat them.
Yep,
which is saying like if I ever seen it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like these are human Saiyans.
Yeah, Vegeta would have loved that family. But that being said,
Stroheim Castle.
Yeah, Stroheim. Okay, Lawrence Blood.
No, see, Lawrence Blood stepped out in the wrong time, in the wrong place, with the wrong dude. Like
messing with the wrong dude, girl.
Like he said, like she was bad, so I had to teach her a lesson. And he said, "What? His hair flared up?" Like I was like, "This motherfucker just transformed on your ass." And
Lawrence Blood is like, he's that guy that like he says the wrong things to the wrong people, and you be trying to say like, cause he did it again in the movie. You're like, bro,
yeah, with the woman.
Yeah, like stop treating these women like they ain't crap, dude.
Like, dude, Lawrence, don't be jumping out there with your.
Yeah. Next thing you know, he's hemmed up.
Like stuck to this twice that he got stuck to a wall.
Yeah.
And said too strong.
I'm like, bruh. Next time, stop talking about this man woman, dude.
Just shut up. Like,
shut up, dude. Oh, you're nothing witch. I was like, he be straight up. I'm like, bruh, straight disrespectful.
Well, and that's what got him hemmed up twice.
Yeah, he would have had to be in Mark of the Wolves just for like continuity's sake.
Yeah, like just as a background character showing up again
and getting stuck to a wall.
Honestly, I wouldn't even want to put him through that torture a third time.
I would, just because it's funny.
Like, unless he decided he was going to walk up on Billy Kane wrong, and Billy decided he's just going to plaster him.
Nah, it got to be a woman, man. Got to be what's the girl's name on
Jeanette, the pirate? Think about it. Billy Kane has a sister.
Oh yeah, that is right.
The sister the wrong way.
I forgot Billy Kane has a sister.
Yeah, that's why he fights, because he has a sister. He fights to earn money to take care of her.
Yeah.
Even though he's technically a bad guy, he has good intentions.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like he works for like Geese, but you can tell he don't really like him.
He's afraid of him though.
Yeah, he's afraid of him because he can't beat him, but he don't like. He's basically a merc.
But yeah,
That's basically what he is. He's a merc. He's a hired
I,
gun. That's why he won't fight. Like he won't fight Andy. Like if they're like in the street, he won't fight Andy.
nah, he won't just pick a fight with them. They do have, when you go through the continuity, the two of them do have like a rivalry with each other.
But it's not.
But he's not like hateful of Andy.
Yeah.
And that was kind of shown in the motion picture when the dude was standing behind Andy and he swung his staff at him in the nose.
Yeah.
They both knew he was there. Dude thought he was hiding his presence for some reason. Like they knew you were there the whole time.
Yeah, even the master, as perverted as he was, knew he was there.
Oh, you talking about Jubei?
Yeah, gotta love Jubei, man. It's not anime without an extremely old, extremely perverted sensei.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about about Japanese martial arts senseis, but hey,
that they have a lot of skill and then they get old and wanting.
Basically. But as far as like well, let me ask you this: would you rather see an OVA? Or would you rather see like a movie for Mark of the Wolves? I'd rather see a movie instead of OVA personally.
I would do it twofold. I would do twofold. Do a OVA to kind of recap the events of Fatal Fury 3, and then roll into Mark of the Wolves with a movie.
Yeah, with them gearing up for the tournament because Terry trained Rock.
Yep. And Rock's whole purpose is going into that tournament to get information on his mother, because his Uncle Kane is the one running it. So,
yeah, basically. Which I did beat. Which I did finally beat it with. I beat it with Terry and I liked the ending. Did not like the obviously steroided up dude I had to fight before I fought Kane.
Oh, you talking about Grant?
Yeah.
Who has a move set so similar to Geese, you would think it was Geese.
I thought it was Geese at first.
It's not though. They're two separate.
I thought it was because of the way he like. There's a little bit of a cut scene after he beat the third or fourth person.
Yeah.
Where you see him like flexing. I'm like, this looks familiar. And then they showed his hair. I'm like, that's Geese. But then when you see him when you fight him, it's not Geese.
The thing that tells me is that they all learned from the same martial arts school. That's the only thing it tells me, because all their moves are so similar.
Yeah, the main guys move, the main antagonists, and their moves are ridiculously similar. Which, once again, I like that they brought that up in Fatal Fury the movie.
Yeah,
like the main two houses actually came from. They did a good job of tying stuff into that movie, even though like it kind of has nothing to do with the fight series.
It really has nothing to do with it, but yeah. Oh yeah, because when they went into the cave looking for information on the Gadamus armor.
And it came out that it was both the House of Stroheim and the Hakyoku Seiken schools, which are basically the two main schools in the Fatal Fury universe or whatever.
Yeah, and they had a couple other offshoots, but those were the main ones that you could see.
Yeah. Which was actually interesting that they actually noted that. Once again, I got to give it to whoever wrote it and the director of that. They did a good job of tying that together. So I do know that there was a live action King of Fighters movie, which I will not tell anybody to watch because yes, it is that bad. I will say if you are going to watch anything about Fatal Fury or King of Fighters, I would probably just stick with the anime versions just for continuity's sake and a better story, in my opinion. The live action King of Fighters movie that I saw a few years back was just horrible.
Horrible. Oh, if you want to watch anything King of Fighters, look up King of Fighters Another Day. I think that's a short OVA series too.
That's like 30 minutes, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes over 3 different videos.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But yeah, watch those. Don't watch the live action stuff because you will.
It's bad. Until we get some fans to actually properly do it, it's going to be bad.
I mean, and here's the thing: like, the reason why I say I would rather like people do video game moves either animated or cell shaded is because like the more fantastical stuff you could actually do and pull off without having to worry about having to do CG anyway, because you have to put it in there anyway if you do live action. And on top of that, it just looks smoother when you do stuff in live action, like the Tekken movie, the King of Fighters movie, the the Mortal Kombat movie was okay, but the problem is,
Fighter the
one, you're getting
movie.
actors that probably don't even have any martial experience, or they don't even know how to fight. Period. You probably get two or three that actually do, but they're not main characters.
Yep.
So you may get a couple good fights out of it, maybe.
Yeah. And definitely, you don't want a live action movie like Street Fighter the movie where Ken's Dragon Punch doesn't leave the ground.
Yeah, he just turns around. Yeah,
I still don't get how they tried to angle it so it looked like he jumped.
yeah. Whew, boy, that was yeah. Um, that's why I'm a big supporter of just animate it. If you're gonna do a live action like that, or either that, or just like you said, let the fans do it. Because that Street Fighter Assassin's Fist and that Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat Legacy, those were great.
Yeah.
Well, the Mortal Kombat one was great. Well, both of them were great until Warner Brothers and Capcom decided to put their hands in it.
Mm.
And once they did, the quality went down because that Street Fighter one that they did on Go 90, that
was just a rush job, though. You can tell that one.
yeah, it was a rush. They tried to do the best they could, and I understand it. But if you had been following Mike Mose and I forgot the other guy that played Ken's, they had actually wrote out what they were going to do next, and it was actually they were going to do after Fantastic Fist was supposed to have been the World Warrior. They were actually going to do the World Warrior part, which is basically Street Fighter 2, and then they were going to go into,
Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, Street Fighter. No, well, Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 4 would be
come before 3.
Yeah.
So they were going to go.
Still mad at Capcom for that.
And Capcom was like, "Oh well, we got Street Fighter 5 finna come out. We love what y'all did with it. Do this." And
fuck
they did it, and it the fights were still good, but it wasn't as good as Assassin's Fist was.
That's what happens when big companies don't know how to work with their own IPs.
Yeah, and Mortal Kombat, when y'all saw I know a lot of y'all probably saw the web series. The first season was awesome. The first one they did was awesome. That second season, you could tell they just was like, you know what, let's just get this out and get this over with.
Yep.
Let's just get it out and get it over with. And I kind of hate that because let them work on it. There's a reason why you picked them, why you wanted them to do another one. Just let them do it. Leave them alone. But of course, they're not going to do that because they're fronting the money. So that's just wishful thinking. But I mean, I enjoyed those, and like I said, those I wouldn't mind if it was live action done by fans like that are going to take the time and be respectful to the characters, be respectful to the property itself. If they can't do that, then just animate it.
Yep.
And leave it at that. To me, that's just a better option for everybody involved. Personally, this is my personal thought on it. Your thoughts on that?
No, I kind of agree. Just if you're not going to do the actual work to make it look right in live action and make sure it sticks to the continuity, just go with anime or even 3D models. I don't care, but I prefer anime because it looks better for a lot of different scenes.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I can't even describe how bad that stuff gets.
In other words, we don't want another Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li.
Or another Street Fighter movie, period.
Or Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, gosh, no. Definitely not that.
Or King of Fighters. Or Tekken. Even though King of Fighters and Tekken went straight to DVD, thank goodness. No, just let's not do that again. Let's just not even do that again.
Just don't waste the energy on it.
Yeah, just don't. I mean, just don't. Just go back to animating it or do a CG cell shade. I don't care. But yeah, don't do that. So that's it for this little special Fatal Fury discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Andre, you got anything you want to pimp out before we get out of here?
Right now I'm just working on getting some videos done because I've fallen behind, but I'll have a bunch of stuff out this week. I got a lot on my mind I want to do.
All right, and I know last week I didn't have anything up about ARMS or anything like that in the direct that happened last week. I will be doing some last calls on that just so I can get some stuff out. I do apologize, but I did not know Nintendo was going to drop that, and I was in a place where the internet reception wasn't too great. So that will be worked on. Hopefully, I'll have something out before the end of the week. If you don't hear from me, I will be joining that Project Arms Invitational. I'll probably be up on Saturday because Friday I'm going to the movies, but I will be up on it on Saturday and Sunday. So I will check you guys there. And thanks for watching. And I will check you guys on our next vid. Peace out, peeps.
Peace.